Later in the
day,
Bando
and another
seventh
seventh
member.
member would be looking for revenge.
Bando
Would spot Duran later on.
Vandal standing on business. What's up, J fam? It's your boy Jay, and today we got something a little different today. We ain't listening to no UK drill today. We got some real street shit. It's different. Today we gonna be reacting to the Deadly Divide in East London 7 versus 6. Without further ado, though, cue the fucking intro, dude. Let's get it.
Newham is a London borough.
Located in East London.
Newham has been
an infamous.
All right, so we talking about Newham
notorious gangsters
today.
and gangs hailing from the area. An example would be the Cray twins, who controlled the criminal streets of Newham.
However, this video
isn't about the Cray twins, but instead
the dangerous gang war
between 7th and 6th.
Sorry if I look at this screen. It's because I got a whole different model right here. Very different.
Before I get into the
because the camera.
The 7th gang, along with CGE,
15
Bluebirds.
Park make
an alliance in Newham.
The alliance is
referred to as Northside Newham, and
Similarly,
to the Northside Newham alliance. The
Southside gang
gangs would also form an alliance under South.
I'm not no disrespect to the Southside Newham gang, but y'all niggas look dirty as fuck. Shout out to y'all boys though. They're different. Them niggas is the real ones though. They're different.
Side Newham. These
gangs
consisted of 6th
Custom
House and Canning Town,
meaning that a lot of the
beef would be between
outside
Southside Newham and Northside Newham.
Now 7th,
or
formerly known
as E7 Crips, is a large street gang based around the Forest Gate area within
Y'all
the
niggas
E7 postcode.
I didn't even know y'all had Crips out there. That's crazy.
In recent years, we would see
My
7th
bad.
split into 2 different sets due to in-house beef.
These sets
being Woody and BWC.
However, I will
explain the split between 7th later on in the video.
7th
has been around since the late 1990s, with them being composed of many small street gangs. In recent
years,
7th has had a big impact on the modern-day drill scene, with huge UK drill rappers hailing from the gang. These rappers include Yanko, CB, YCB, and Broad Day.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Somebody in the comment section told me to react to CB, so that's what we about. That's probably what's gonna be the next video. UK drill vid. Sorry, I got a notification. That's about to be a blooper. But anyway, yeah, we're gonna be reacting to the CB. Let me see what I think it's called Plugged In. So yeah, CB Plugged In. So that's probably gonna be dropping before this video, after this video. Anyway, like, comment, subscribe on that video too. Hit the post notifications so you can be notified whenever we drop another video. Without further ado, let's get back into this. Let's get back into it.
Only streets away from the 7th gang and the Northside Newham alliance is the large street gang named 6th. 6th are also referred to as ACG musically. The younger generation are known as ACG, or Anyone Can Go, with the older generation going by many different names, including BBS, or Becton Black Squad, and HTM, or Harder Than Most.
6th, along with
neighboring gangs, Custom House and Canning Town,
make up the Southside
Newham alliance, beefing Northside Newham. 6th have
also
also had a big impact on modern drill, with
rappers
like Young Diz,
Vida,
Twin S, and Double M.
Now 6th
and
7th haven't
always had a rivalry. In the early 2000s, they would be calm with each other.
However, in
2009, this would all change.
15-year-old boy was stabbed into his chest.
A member
from the gang
CGE named
Captain.
Yo, somebody send me that vid though. I got a fish. What the fuck? Yo, I need that vid. If y'all know the vid, yo, put that in the comment section down below.
CGE named
Captain
would
be walking on
Whitwell Road in Plaistow at around 10:45 p.m. on Saturday the 24th of January 2009. Over a dozen Custom House members would spot Captain, and a fight would ensue. This would sadly end in Captain being stabbed multiple times and being pronounced dead on the scene in his sister's arms. A Custom House member named Major would be arrested for the murder. He would be charged and found guilty of the murder, being sentenced to at least 17 years in prison. He was recently pictured on Snapchat for his 28th birthday. The
death of Captain would spark a divide in
Newham, with the friends of Captain starting to beef Custom House and allied gangs.
This caused the
divide which we know today as Northside versus Southside Newham. Only a year later, on the 4th of July 2010, a Custom House member named Ace would be riding his bicycle back from a party he attended.
Younger members
from CGE would
spot
spot
him
him and identify him as a rival. They would run up to him and a fight would ensue. This sadly ended in Ace being stabbed over 10 times. His lung would be punctured as a result of the wounds, and he would sadly be pronounced dead 2 days later. The murder would be...
Y'all never care. We play with.
A direct act of retaliation for the death of Captain a year
Y'all
prior.
never
A
care.
CGE member named Sammy Guns would be wanted for the murder of Ace, but would sadly
Yeah, different. But without further ado, though, like, comment, subscribe.
be shot to death by Peckham's gang members only 3 months later.
Rest
Rest
in
in peace, Ace and Sammy
Get
Guns.
back, gang,
The
go
beef between
crazy.
the gangs would go silent for a few
3
years
months
until
later?
the late 2010s, when a gang member from Dagenham-based set 8910, now more commonly referred to as Dag 109, would G-check a 7th member named Vando on the 12th of November 2016.
Later in the
day,
Vando
and another 7th
member.
member would be looking for revenge.
Vando
would spot Duran later on.
Vandal standing on business.
Day and would confront him. Duran would be stabbed once in the stomach, and his friend would be
What I
stabbed
say?
3 times. The
Come
7th
on, bro.
members would flee the scene.
Paramedics and
police
Vandal
would
standing
arrive
on
minutes
business.
later,
He ain't
and Duran
playing.
would be
Come
taken
here.
to
Hospital. However, he
would
would die
die
only
only 3 hours later, and a murder investigation would be launched.
Vando and the other
7th member would be arrested for the murder. They were originally facing murder charges. However, they would be cleared of the murder charge, but instead convicted of manslaughter under the grounds it was self-defense. Rest in peace, Duran.
During the end of 2016
and start of 2017, we would see 6 members starting to drop music. We would see
Rappers
rappers like Young Diz starting to
prosper
prosper in the music scene during these years. He had been making music since 2013, however, wouldn't see much success. On the
3rd
3rd
of
of April 2017, a member of Custom House allied with 6th named Grinna would be
on
on
his
his
way
way to his local shop to
buy
buy
a
a
fruit
fruit juice.
He was getting ready to
pay for his drink.
7th gang
members would run into the shop, and a
Fight
fight
would
would ensue between
Grinna
Grinna
and
and the members.
Grinna would be stabbed in his
heart and would
sadly
sadly be pronounced dead on the scene. A
Murder
murder investigation would be launched after the
Yo, somebody in the comment section, keep the skull down in the comment section, cause I lost count already. It's different. Yo, keep the skull in the comment section.
this, with
The
3
arrests being made
in the
following
following days of the murder.
However,
none of the people arrested would be charged, with the murder going unsolved till this day. In
2022,
police would release CCTV
you know, you know.
images and videos of the crime, and even
offered
offered
up
up £20,000 to anyone with information.
However,
However,
it's
it seems that the murder is still
solved,
unsolved, with the killer still being free.
Rest in
peace, Grinna.
After the
death of Grinna, tit-for-tat incidents would occur between 6th and 7th. This included
Stabbings.
stabbings and shootings that would occur during the summer months of 2017,
Including prominent
member of 6th,
Young Diz
being stabbed and
shot
shot
multiple
times in 2017.
Luckily,
he would survive.
all of these
tit-for-tat attacks
in
in the streets would lead to one of the most brazen attacks in the history of the beef.
Bro, Dave. Yo, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. These
You guys
ass
send
y'all.
me. So let's go.
Chinchi, please do my beat.
On the
4th
4th
of
of
Sep-
September 2017, an affiliate of 7th named CJ, who was only 14, would be
Standing
standing
out-
outside of a playground in East London
Nah,
with
they
other 7th
bogus as
members.
hell.
When a
Car
car
would
would
slowly
approach the group, a
gunmen
gunman
from-
from the 6th gang would lean out of the car and shoot multiple times into the crowd.
Sadly.
CJ would be shot in the head and would be pronounced dead on the scene. CJ was said to have been groomed into the 7th gang, with his mom even finding 650 pounds worth of crack cocaine in his home. This whole situation is sad, as CJ could have made a legal path for himself in the future, but instead he fell in with the wrong crowd.
Now no one
has been charged in connection to the murder. However, a few arrests have been made. Rest in peace, CJ.
After the death of
CJ,
Young Diz,
who was one of the most prominent members of 6th, would
start
start
rapping
rapping and dissing CJ on songs. He would rap one of the rudest drill verses of all time. Only months later, in May 2018,
Yeah, they bogus.
Young Diz
I ain't gonna lie,
would rap on a
City's
song
Block
called
bogus.
Smoky Things,
Where he would
diss CJ and his mom. This verse is
widely
widely
reg-
regarded as the rudest drill verse.
2018
I knew
would be a
these
very
niggas
active
was
year
lying.
for the two gangs musically. With
Young rappers like Astro,
Striker,
Striker,
and Bones starting to drop
songs
songs
on
on UK drill platforms like
Pac-Man
Pac-Man TV and Mixtape Madness.
7th would also have
an
active
music scene, with a
rapper
rapper
named
named CB dropping UK drill banger Take That Risk in October 2017. It
Started
started
to
to look like
7th
7th and 6th
That
made a
Risk.
big name for themselves in music, although they
Dissed
dissed each other in pretty much every song. On the
14th
14th of February 2018,
7th
7th
member.
members, including Vando, who we have already discussed, would use a
Stolen
stolen
car.
car and ride onto their op block.
Promise,
who was a
6th
6th affiliate, would be
walking
walking
with
with a group of
friends
friends at around 8 p.m.
The
When a
car would slowly approach.
They got white
Promise
people
didn't
in
know
was that the
Banging.
car would contain 7th members. The
Car
car
full
full of 7th members would then drive into Promise knocking him over.
Promise
managed to escape the situation by running down Butcher's Road.
However,
However,
the seventh
members would take chase, and Vando would catch up and stab Promise multiple times.
Promise
would sadly be pronounced dead on the scene with the attackers fleeing.
All
four of the attackers would be arrested and charged with the murder of Promise. This included Vando, who wouldn't be as lucky as before, and would be sentenced to life in prison, along with his co-defendants. Rest in peace, Promise.
Vando is often
mentioned in recent 7th songs, as he is one of the most active members in Northside Newham as a whole.
Yanko,
who is a young 7th rapper, mentions the fact that Vando has killed 2 ops a lot in his songs.
I'm on. Vando caught 2 in 2 years. The pagans ain't on what he's on.
2 in 2 years is crazy.
Free Vando locked for the murder. Got hit by the front of the beamer. 3 man drops to the pit.
Young Slooey was a loved and well-respected member of the 6th gang.
Around the time Promise
died, Young Slooey would borrow money from another 6th member.
Now
these two members were friends. However, weeks later, when the other 6th member was looking for the money, Young Slooey wasn't able to pay him back. A fight would then ensue between the 2 members, and this would result in the 6th member stabbing Young Slooey to death whilst being under the influence of drugs.
After the death of
Young Slooey, the war between 6th and 7th would start to quieten down due to a lot of the older members going to jail. This included Young Diz, who was arrested and sentenced for kidnapping and torturing a 16-year-old over lost money. Shootings and stabbings would still occur in the streets. These incidents wouldn't appear in the news, but they would be referenced in songs made by the gangs. In April 2019, a young 7th member would start rapping, his name being Yanko. Yanko would drop his first song being Anyone Can Go. This song was full of disses towards dead and alive 6th members. Another 7th member named Whoosh would also start to gain attention during this time, with his unique flow and aggressive bars. Although 2019 was looking good for 7th, during the first half of 2019,
it sounds like 7
would be given a 23-year sentence for waving a shotgun at police officers. This was a huge loss for the drill scene. Had taken over differently during 2018, dropping some of the hardest songs. 2019 was looking promising for Yanko, with him dropping over 4 songs. He would unfortunately be locked up around September 2019 and would be facing drug charges, meaning he wasn't able to continue his music career, at least not for a while. Now 2019 would end, with 2020 beginning and another set of 7th and 6th rappers emerging. In the 7th set, we would see rappers like C1 start to jump on beats. Emerging from the 6th set, we would see Twin S, who was a respected older, and Double M, who was a younger. The beef wasn't very active during 2020, as a lot of people were most likely in their homes during this time. However, 2021 would be till this day the most dangerous year within the beef. Now, I just talked about Double M, who had been making noise on the scene, dropping UK drill songs, including his Plugged In, Gunsmoke, and his feature on a Hotspot freestyle. Double M was looking as if he could become the next big rapper from 6th. Sadly, in 2021, the road life would catch up to him in the worst way.
Another fucking ad, nigga. You want this tape that bad, bitch ass nigga?
Of star systems like never before. Follow a path of your own choosing and become a titan of industry.
On the 7th of March 2021, Double M would be in Southeast.
Yo, is he actually like
walking with a group of his friends?
Hold on. Is he actually like adding the score actually, or like is this nigga bullshit? Let me know something, cause.
However, he would decide to split off from his friends and instead approach another group of people. Double M would have a conversation with other people. However, this conversation got heated and would end with the man pulling out a knife and stabbing Double M in the chest. Double M would return to his friends, but didn't realize the stabbing was severe. His friends would notice and rush him to hospital. However, sadly, Double M would be pronounced dead in hospital later that day. This leading to yet another murder investigation being launched. It didn't take long for police to connect a man named Mohammed Shihabi, who was a civilian, to the crime. Mohammed Shihabi was sentenced to 9 years for the murder he committed. Rest in peace, Double M. The war in the streets would be raging at this point. Only a month later, another death would shock the nearby community. On the 25th of April 2021, a Custom House member named Young Grinna, who was well known as Grinna's younger brother, would be standing outside of his family home in East London when a car would slowly approach. What Young Grinna didn't know was that this car was full of CGE and 7th members. The members would exit the car and shoot Young Grinna. The members would then all run towards him and stab him multiple times whilst he was on the floor. Sadly, Young Grinna would be pronounced dead on the scene. This meant that both of the brothers had been lost to the street life,
Damn,
a massive hole in the family. Rest in peace,
Grinna
and young Grinna.
I know
After
my
the death of
Young
young
Grinna,
Seventh
Seventh would start disrespecting him in songs, with C1
One
being,
being
one of the main rappers from the Seventh set starting to rap and drop
Songs
songs disrespecting his ops.
Later on in
2021, the
Seventh
Seventh set would see in-house
problems,
problems, with
one
one
of
of
their
their own members being murdered, causing a
massive
massive divide in the Seventh gang.
Now a seventh member
and
Yo, I'm starting to feel like the niggas with the skeezies on is really like that. The niggas without the skeezies ain't like that. They ain't got shit to hide from. That's how I'm taking it.
for Stick Up would
Find
find
himself
himself
in
in an argument with other Seventh members who were his friends. Like all friends,
Arguments-
arguments are bound to happen.
However,
And
this
these
was
niggas with
different.
gloves
ended
and
in
everything.
The
They
three
really
Seventh
like
members
that.
stabbing Stick Up multiple times, leaving him to die. Stick Up would
Sadly
sadly be pronounced dead only moments later, with the killers fleeing.
Now,
Wood
Woodgrange-
Grange and BWC are both sets that make up the Seventh gang. So
After
after
Stick
Stick
Up
Up
was
killed by his own friends, the two sides
Damn.
would split, with certain members siding with different members.
After the death of Stick Up,
BWC and Woody would start to
actively
actively beef. This
resulted
resulted
in
in tit-for-tat incidents in the streets.
This included when
BWC members would catch a Woody member in jail and stab him in the neck. This was a
Direct
direct
retaliation
retaliation for the murder of Stick Up, with it even being alleged that Yanko was responsible for the attack, as he
Talked
talked
about-
about the incident in his song Painting a Picture. The beef between 6th and 7th has been
Quite
quite
active.
active since 2021, with
That
tit-for-tat
incident.
incidents occurring nearly every month in the streets. 6th has been making a big noise in the music scene recently, with Twin S being released from prison and starting to drop songs again. A
Sixth
sixth
member named Ryder recently
burst
onto
onto
the
the scene and has been dropping
UK
UK drill songs that are already starting to rake in
hundreds
hundreds of thousands of views.
Ryder
Ryder
is-
is looking as if he can make it big in the drill scene. Although this has been said about other rappers, I
Hope
hope
Ryder
Ryder
can
can use his talent to get big in the drill scene, as he has a lot of potential. If you enjoyed
this
this video, make sure to subscribe. Rest in peace, everyone in this video. Remember, this life isn't worth it.
Yo, he said it best. Rest in peace to all the fallen soldiers that lost their life. Like, comment, subscribe. I just want to say this shit is getting crazier. Like, I ain't even. Yo, like, comment, subscribe. That's all I know. Yo, comment down below if you want me to react to another one of these documentaries. Without further ado, though, before I start getting on a rambling and shit. Hey, yo, cue the fucking intro, dude. We gone.
Slumber City got love for my people. When I put on, I would do this shit for me though. That money up, now your boy got it ego. That's why you cut the check, nigga. Another zero.